Hey, meet Christina. She's a 68-year-old best-selling author and daughter of famous US Air Force pilot Robin Olds. Before the pandemic, Christina gave speeches about aviation history and says BTS gave her the courage to stand on stage and address thousands of people. Let's start at the beginning of your army journey, if that's okay. So when did you discover BTS?
It came out of adversity, like a lot of people do. I had cancer in 2012 and I went through some really awful surgery, and I had about a 6-week recovery at home. I was bored out of my mind. And I had a friend who was a United flight attendant who would fly the San Francisco to Seoul route all the time. And he said, "You have got to start watching K-dramas. You have got to start watching." I said, "I don't want to listen to K-dramas." He said, "It's all right. They're all subtitled." I said, "That's fine. I love French movies and Italian movies. The subtitles don't bother me." So my first drama was Pasta. By the 3rd episode, I was hooked, and I rolled right into Secret Garden and Coffee Prince and all these. I watched a drama called Iris and kind of got interested in the villain in Iris, had to look him up, and turns out his name was Top, T-O-P, from the group Big Bang. So I got into Big Bang, I got into EXO, I got into GOT7, I got into Super Junior, all of them. I watched everything. So I ended up watching the debut, BTS debut of No More Dream. I kept watching everything that was coming out.
You know, what was your first impression?
It was Danger in the middle of 2014 where the veil fell from my eyes and I thought, oh my God, these guys are amazing. And what captured me at first was the energy of their dance. It started keeping me focused on BTS. And then of course Dope was right around the same time, and by that time I was a goner. I started sort of watching and following the other groups I've been following, but the focus came more and more and more and more into BTS until by the end of 2014, I was Army. That was it. I was done. Have been ever since. It's been a journey of a lifetime, and I cannot tell you how happy I am at the age of 68 to know that I have found something that keeps me interested in music and in other parts of the world so passionately that it informs my whole life now. I am just a really happy person. I was before, but I'm like 1,000 times happier than I used to be. I think we all love these boys so much that we want the success for them. There's this feeling of wanting them to have everything in the world. I feel like I'm supporting my own child in a way.
Where do you think that comes from, that desire from the fans to like really support BTS in this massive way and like break these records and like almost like show the world that this is like a big deal? You know, where does that come from?
It took me till 2015 to really figure it out. And people have been saying, oh, it's their lyrics, oh, it's their dance, oh, it's their singing, oh, they're so cute, oh, it's the social media, oh, it's the Run episodes, oh, it's the Bon Voyage, oh, we get to see them behind the scenes. Over time, what got me, it's their sincerity, because it's the consistency of their personalities. It's the consistency of how humble they are, how kind they are, how funny. Oh my God, they're so funny. How much they love each other. That comes through. You might think it's fake the first time or the 3rd or the 5th or the 10th time you see it, but someone's personality, all of our personalities, become very obvious to our friends and families over time. We stay pretty consistent. We know how we get angry, we know what makes us happy, what makes us sad, what lights our fire. There's a consistency that shows, and I think it's BTS's ultimate honesty. They show their hearts, and they love their fans. And that is a phenomenon I have never, ever seen.
So you talked in an email that you sent me that, you know, when you go on these speaking tours, you look at photos of BTS on your phone before you get on stage, and that really energizes you. Could you tell me a bit more about that?
I speak to groups anywhere from 25 people to the high top has been 6,000, sometimes in huge auditoriums. I've been doing this now for about 10 years. So in the beginning, I was super nervous and didn't know how to really control it. But once I found BTS and I realized how they inspired me with their hard work and that they had pushed through some really tough things to be where they are, I started keeping photos of them on my phone that would be easily accessed when I would be sitting down waiting to be introduced to 1,000 people to give up and give a speech. But I would just sit there quietly, and then people probably think I'm looking at my notes for the speech. I don't use notes when I'm speaking, but I'm really looking at my lap, down at my lap at pictures of BTS on my phone. And they just give me this little charge of, you can do it. Fighting, you can do it. Just get up and do it. And I end up bouncing up out of my seat and, going to the stage and with a big smile on my face and greeting everybody there. And so in the back of my head, I've got this like energy wave that pushes me forward into communicating with people in a really, really happy and positive way, because I know those boys did.
Have you ever experienced judgment from other people for being an older BTS fan?
In the beginning, because most of my friends were my age, they would just go, oh, Christina, you're just nuts. This is crazy. You'll get over it. Sorry, it's a phase. What kind of phase it is, we don't know, but you'll get over it. But bit by bit, I've turned a lot of those older friends into armies. The first time I really experienced the judgment from the young people was my first Billboard Awards. I got myself to the 2017 Billboard, and I was walking along a path headed toward the arena, and a bunch of teenage girls were in front of me, and I said, "Hello, armies," or something like this, and they turned around and looked at me and literally pulled back like this and huddled together and turned away from me and ran. I thought, oh, that's weird. That's right. I must look old to them. Oh, those poor girls. I'm so sorry. But at the same time, I have made amazing friends with youngsters. So when I'm actually in the BTS environment, in a concert or at a movie theater when we're watching one of the movies, there's no judgment. I don't feel that at all. It's very, very inclusive. A lot of us older people and the massive group of fans over 20, 30, 40 and on are seeing something that's so good and so remarkable that we are happy that you have found them. Because I would do anything to have found BTS as a youngster and be inspired by them in my youth and grow old with them.
I guess if you could meet BTS, what would you say to them?
I would get very, very quiet and just very sincerely say, in a moment, if you could ever get them all to be quiet at once, which is very rare, and I love the chaos. That's almost my favorite thing about them, is chaotic laughter. But if I could get them all to be really quiet and sincerely say, thank you for making a huge difference in this world. You guys have created a wave of positivity that is about the only thing these days that I feel can counteract all the darkness we're in. Please keep going with your hearts. Keep telling us the truth. Share with us what you feel. Because your intention, your clear intention to get your hearts out there is working. And even if it impacts only one person at a time, look at it now. Millions and millions and millions around the world are impacted, and they will carry that forward through their entire lives, being influenced by you. So thank you for what you've done. Keep going. You nice.
Is there anything else you'd like to share that I haven't covered?
I would like to say to the youngsters who are watching, show this to your parents. Show it to the people who, your mother, father, grandparents, aunts, uncles, older brothers, sisters, whoever, that are making fun of you for loving BTS. Or your parents who are trying to prevent you from buying BTS merchandise or putting up their posters or yelling at you to study instead of following these boys. Let me tell you, parents, let your kids love BTS. Encourage them to love BTS. They will make friends online. They will make friends in the groups that you go to movie theaters together. They will make friendships that will last a lifetime. They are loving good people. They are following good, honest, hardworking people who should be inspiring your kids. Let them love BTS. Because growing up with BTS as an influence, I think, is absolutely the best way for any youngster to grow up right now.
너 먼저 다치고 아파도 끝없이